What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about if Watch Dogs Legion is a massive disappointment. Now, okay, people are probably already going to run with that, right? And I don't blame people, right? It's a very, big kind of title, okay? Basically, this just gives me a chance. This is not necessarily a review. If you guys want a review, a very detailed review, I could definitely do that over the next coming days. But I want to talk about what people have been saying about this game, what I think about it. I've played several hours at this point of it. I have a lot of things, actually, to say about some different mechanics, and I think it's a good video to do, because if you guys have known me, if you've watched some of my Watch Dogs videos, I've been covering this game for like a year and a half, and not every single day, not even every single week, but I've been talking about this game on this channel for over a year and a half. So I think that, and I've been very positive. I've been very positive, very much in their camp, saying, well, I'm looking forward to this, or I think this could maybe work out. And now we have the game, and so what's going on. I would say, just to get this out of the way so nobody really starts accusing me in the comments, I would say no, this game is not a massive disappointment. The thing with this game is it does, honestly, the same kind of thing that the other two games does. Now, let me clarify. It doesn't, because it changes up the core focus. It changes up a lot of things in this game versus what they did in 1 and 2. But it has the same kind of themes where Watch Dogs has always excelled in like certain parts, and it's always done, I would argue, really, really bad in other parts. And they've never managed to put the whole game together. And that's kind of what I've talked about of this game. It's kind of like warnings I've given of this game leading into it. So again, Alex, a podcast and sole owner, I do not think that this game is a massive disappointment. I am having fun. I'm seeing a lot of issues with the game, like, while I'm playing it. So while I'm playing it, I'm like, ooh, I don't like that, or ooh, this is actually terrible. But there's a hook. The game actually has like an invisible hook that has reached to me, and it's hooked me, and it's pulled me into the game, and I can't get enough of it. And so it's weird, right? It's kind of weird. You could maybe call it hypocritical if you want. I wouldn't agree with that, but I do see a lot of weaknesses with this game, but I do not think it's affecting the larger impact the game has on me, where it's like I still want to play it. I still want to do everything. I kind of want to go for the platinum in this game if my wife lets me. I want to go for the platinum. I want to play as much of this game as humanly possible, because there are some really good things. The recruiting is what this game will live and die by, okay? And I saw in a lot of the reviews, even leading up into when I played this game, that the issue is that they're still not different enough. And I would say, I agree. I think that there is still enough there, though, that's got me, like, enticed. I still want to do it. And want to do what? Well, like, when I'm going down the streets of Watch Dogs, if I see somebody that's, like, interesting to me, I still do want to recruit them. Obviously, we talked about, right, the best characters to recruit. There is some sort of reward there that when you clear an area, basically, right, when you clear a burrow in Watch Dogs, you get, like, let's say an elite character that's got, like, these special abilities, okay, let's say, and they're really cool. I mean, and the things that make them the most different, I feel, are what they kind of needed to do with the rest of the characters. But I love the randomization. I love, again, by random, I mean, like, literally, it's just a throw of the dice when you're over a character, and they have, okay, do they come with a weapon? Do they come with a skill? Do they have a negative skill? Can they drop dead on the spot, right? Some characters can do that. So, like, that is, and always has been, the main draw to Watch Dogs Legion. And I think that it's not, like, fully realized. It's not the greatest thing in the world. We did warn about that, right? I had said that numerous times in videos where it's like, this is the first, I'm not making excuses for them, but it's the first time they're doing this. It's really the first time of a mechanic kind of as ambitious as this, right? We've said it before, and people have said it. It's kind of the most ambitious system in a game since the Nemesis system in Shadow of Mordor, and I think they did a much better job for, like, out of the gate. Like, that game, the Nemesis system, was really, really good. There weren't a lot of weaknesses, and there were obviously things you can improve from it, but there weren't a lot of weaknesses. For Watch Dogs Legion, there are a lot of strengths. You could see where they could go from here. At the same time, there are a lot of weaknesses, right? They really aren't all that different. I have noticed that the voice acting sounds very, very similar, which was one of the biggest issues that I had said, that, hey, if I'm recruiting or if I'm playing around with like 10, 15, 20 characters and I'm already starting to hear the same voices, that is a major, major concern for me, and that is what people are finding in this game. So that is an issue. Besides that, I would say the biggest disappointments, again, is if you were to say this, if you were to say there's big disappointments, I feel like because, again, the game, I think, excels at a lot of things, and it also doesn't excel at a lot. The world itself, the story, I think, is just like the other games in that it's terrible, slash, just not important. Just not something that will change your life at all. You will forget about the story in approximately, like Jeremy Johns does the ending of his reviews. You'll probably, forget the ending in like 10 minutes after the game. You'll probably forget the story in 10 minutes. And that is a weakness. I know people had warned even me, leading into this game, where it's like, well, if you don't have a single protagonist, it's hard to build a story. And I've always agreed with that. I've actually always agreed, because I think that's a very, very good point. The thing is, I just didn't care. And that's why, to me, look, I think I went in with I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say this. Don't take this the wrong way. I think I went in with the right expectations. Now, I'm not saying you went in with the wrong expectations, but to me, I was expecting this game to do a couple things. Have a terrible story, / I just don't care. Have a world that's maybe decent, maybe bad, maybe good, doesn't really matter. The recruiting thing to hook me and make me want to play it, and then some sort of gameplay loop that makes it all worthwhile. Because you can, let's be honest, you can recruit hundreds of people if you wanted to, right? You'd have to eventually get rid of people that you have, but you can recruit whoever. But if you're not doing anything with them, or if the game, like when you're literally going into like the red zones that are like controlled and you have to do something, hack, whatever, if you're doing that and it sucks, well, there's just no point to play, right? I think that is decent enough. I don't think it's spectacular, the gameplay. I think it's okay. Again, I think the different weapons are actually a really good thing. I think the different abilities and the different things that your character, whether it's a unique character or whether, again, you maybe unlock it, right? Because you can unlock different like skills and abilities and stuff like that. Once you do that, I mean, the game starts to really open up. I think becomes fun. The other thing, the final thing I'll say is hacking. And this is a question to you guys. Is that a disappointment? To me, I think it's very blatantly obvious. So this is, in a way, this is actually kind of a review. It's blatantly obvious when you play this game that hacking has been toned down more than ever before, more than Watch Dogs 1. And I say that because, remember, when they first showed Watch Dogs, they made it seem like you could hack everything. And when the game came out, it was very, very limiting. The thing that Watch Dogs 2 did, I think, was make it a little bit more fun, ease up the seriousness, and also just let you go wild with that hacking, with just some different things in that line. I would go so far to say that the hacking in Watch Dogs Legion is not necessarily worse because it's functional and it's fine, but you have less to do hacking-wise in Legion than any of the past games, including Watch Dogs 1. And that is... Would I say it's a disappointment? To be quite honest with you, I would say no, because again, I don't want to say like I'm a fortune teller, like I saw all this coming, but I did say this too. I mean, you talk about something so often that eventually you are going to get things right, you're going to get things wrong too, but I did say this, where it was very clear going into this game that, look, what was the main draw of Watch Dogs 1 and 2? What was it? Hacking. You could hack anything. That was the main draw. What was the main thing they focused on for Legion? What's the thing? All the trailers. What's the thing they literally made trailers about? Recruiting. How do you recruit? How does it work? Can you play as anybody? What's about them that makes them different? That was the main draw. That was the main draw of Watch Dogs Legion. And was that the right thing to do? Well, that's up to you to decide. That's up to the sales to show, right? The reception to show. But that's ultimately up for you to decide, okay? It doesn't matter. The point is, though, that was their main thing. Hacking was not. Hacking, I believe, ever since they showed off this game, has always been in the background, the backdrop, where it's like, yeah, you can hack, but it's also about different kinds of weapons now, and it's also about drones, and which I guess you can hack drones, but you know what I mean? It's more of the minute-to-minute gameplay of that, and it's not necessarily, okay, you can hack this, and you can hack that, and you can change this. Again, there is some of that, but it's pretty generic. I wouldn't go so far to say, like, it's awful, but, like, it's okay. It's okay, and it's also very, very, like, barren. There's just not a lot there. So, again, I really feel like it's where you put your expectations. I think I said this earlier, I'll say it again. I'm having fun. I'm enjoying this game. Is this game my game of the year? No. Did this game deserve to be one, which I've always said, I've actually been saying this for a while. This was like maybe top 3 or top 5 of my most anticipated games of all of 2020. Should it have been there? Maybe not. I would say that I'm happy with it. I would say that I'm not mad that I spent the money on it to play it day one. I would say that I'm going to beat it. I'm going to do everything. I'm hopefully, again, with my wife's permission, going to be able to platinum this game. I'm enjoying it. I also think, though, it's not perfect. It's not, and it's more important. It doesn't even matter if it's perfect. Let's be honest. What's the most important is that in a bad way, this is actually a negative thing, is that it still didn't put everything together. This was the game that I had more confidence in than the other two, that not only could they make the recruiting work, but they could overall make a really good game. Because, again, with 1, 2, and now Legion, they have some really good things. They have you could even argue like a good game buried within a not good game if you want to go that direction. And then they have some really, really weak parts. I hate the dialogue. I hate the voice acting. It's bad. It is not borderline bad. It is bad. I'd be fully willing to say that. So there are some terrible things about this game. There are some amazing things about this game. And then there's like the middle. And the funny thing is, they're different than the past games. You know what I mean? I guess story has always been consistently either horrible or just not anything you have to pay attention to. So that stayed consistent. But I feel like they still haven't put it all together, just like 1 and 2. 1 and 2 are not game of the years. They're not the greatest games ever. Or they're not even the greatest open world games ever. Why? Because they never put everything together. They had some things that were good, some things that were bad. And now we're in the same thing. Only they dropped hacking, and now hacking became kind of a weakness of the game when before it was a strength, and now they replaced it with recruiting, which is the main draw. So I feel like it's almost like an identity crisis. Like they don't know what they want Watch Dogs to be. I think they did know with 1 and 2, but they really didn't know with Legion. Now, again, is that a bad thing? I like the game. So if they made a Watch Dogs 4 and recruiting, again, was the main draw, and they amped it up a bit, and they fixed everything else, I mean, it would be fine. But again, they're not really proving to us that they can put it all together. You know what I mean? Even if you like this game, I think you could probably see that not all of it's good. You know what I mean? But again, that's my opinion. Maybe I'm influencing you guys a little bit, but I definitely want to hear from you guys in the comments below. What do you think? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's a disappointment? Let me know. Again, as always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel, have the bell icon turned on so you know when all these videos go up. And I'm going to keep making these Watch Dogs videos. I have a couple more ideas for you. I could do a review if you guys want to see that. And then there'll probably be a break with Watch Dogs coverage, but I will be back, and this channel supporting it will be back when the multiplayer comes out. We're going to do a ton of different things with the multiplayer, so that's really exciting as well, okay? Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you all on the next video.